I saw the demon again today. Same one I've seen 1,000 times. Sometimes it wore the face of addiction. Sometimes it wore the face of grief. Sometimes it stood on a bridge. Sometimes it hid inside a pill bottle. Sometimes it whispered, just let go. Just let go. I know that smell, that old familiar scent, the one that follows pain everywhere it went. The ghost of a needle, the rattle of a cap, the voice in the darkness trying to pull me back. It sat at my table like an old friend, saying this time you don't gotta fight, this time you can finally end. But I've heard that lie more times than I can count, and every promise it made ended in a drought. It thought it was gonna break what was born broken, thought it finally silenced what God had spoken, thought it dragged me down and closed the book. But every time it swings, brother, I get back up. Brother, I get back up. Brother, I get back up. I've stood on bridges, praying I would slip. I've looked into the darkness with death on my lips. I've watched overdoses steal the breath from my chest, and wake up wondering why I got another chance instead. I buried pieces of myself along this road and carried weights no man should hold. But somehow mercy kept finding me when I couldn't see it. When I couldn't see it. When I couldn't see it. Maybe that's what grace is, the breath you didn't earn, the sunrise you didn't expect, the chapter that shouldn't exist. Then I hear Dad's shotgun, an 8-year-old voice breaking through the noise, and suddenly every demon gets a little smaller. Every lie loses volume, every shadow gets shorter, because God knew what was coming down the line. And before the war arrived, He placed that little hand in mine. It thought it was gonna break what was born broken, thought it finally silenced what God had spoken, thought it dragged me down and closed the book. But every time it swings, brother, I get back up. It thought it was gonna break what was born broken, thought it finally silenced what God had spoken, thought it dragged me down and closed the book. But every time it swings, brother, I get back up. Mom, that took your body, but it didn't take your voice. I still hear your strength every time I make a choice. And when I stand at the edge, looking into the deep, I remember the lessons you planted in me. And every tear I've cried, every war I fought, has forged this steel in the furnace of loss. It thought it was gonna break what was born broken, thought it finally win, thought I was choking, thought it'd take my story before it was through. But it forgot about mercy, and it forgot about truth. It forgot about my daughter, it forgot about my wife, it forgot about my mama and the God who saved my life. My life. I saw the demon again today, and for the first time, I think it was afraid of me.